It's finally cool enough in Texas to actually do stuff outside. That was one of the longest summers I've ever seen. But since I'm outside, time for another hot takes and some hot coffee. By the way, if you didn't know the giraffe, I used to actually work with giraffes at the zoo. So I'm, um, you know, in between being a performer and a composer, I have a history with giraffes. So that's kind of one of the symbolism things there. But anyway, um, on my Facebook page, the most heated arguments I have ever had are not about religion or politics, they're about marching band. And I hate marching band. I've pretty much decided that I hate it with a passion. I pretty much always have, and I have tried to be redeemed in it. So do not say that I have not at least attempted to understand it and to get to the point where I like it, because I have tried. With one of my heated Facebook arguments last summer, um, I got an invite to go to one of the rehearsals for Carolina Crown, one of the elite drum corps, and to sit and watch the rehearsal, watch how they do things, to try and change my viewpoint. And I tried. I tried to change my mind. I couldn't do it. And so if you are not in the United States, you really don't have an idea of what American marching band is about. Everywhere else in the world, marching band just means you're out on a parade, marching up and down, just playing your music. That, that's a very old historical form of band. There's not really anything wrong with it, but there's not anything really redeeming about it either. I mean, at least we've come a long way since the days of playing bassoon and timpani on horseback. And yes, that was a thing. Timpani were originally played on horseback. The poor horses. Um, oh, I may have a visitor coming to see me. Beautiful butterfly. Anyway, back to marching band. So, as you know, I am a bassoonist, and bassoonists always get the short shrift in marching band. Why? You ain't taking a bassoon outside. It just not happening. Um, and the rare occasions it does, it's under such tightly controlled circumstances that you're not really part of the marching band. You're just standing on the sideline playing. So I have a pretty actually wide range of experience with marching band. So let me at least explain my experience. First 2 years of high school, I did what's called military style marching. This is the old, very traditional style of doing that's almost never seen anymore. It is what's called a 6 to 5 step, meaning you take 6 steps per every 5 yards, and there is no deviation from that. It's all block formations, and everybody's on the marching field. They're including the drum major, including all percussion instruments. There is no pit. Big difference. My second 2 years of high school was a more modern style, core style marching band. I did 1 year on sax and that, 1 year in the pit on that. And then in college, I did 2 years of really highly competitive marching band. And I hated every minute of it. In high school, uh, and this is very similar. So being a bassoonist, you're taken off of your main instrument. And for 3 years, I did bari sax, and 1 year I did marimba, just to change it up some. Um, and marching bari sax is not fun. It really hurts your back. It's particularly in the military style marching where um, the bari sax had to be held completely perpendicular to the ground. You could not actually hold it back as traditional. So that caused some actual pain issues. That was fun. But anyway, so let's from an educational value. Well, let's back up just a second. Um, there are really two kinds of kids who get into band. One is the kid who gets into it for the social reasons. All their friends are doing it. It's going to be fun. These are the kids that absolutely love marching band because it is much more of a social activity. The other group are the kids like me that get into it for the artistic and the educational value. And these are the people who go on to become musicians later in life. Now, not to say that there is not some overlap, but by and large, you've got your socialites and then you've got your nerds. And I think if you're watching this channel, you're probably a band nerd. And band nerd to the extreme level that you may agree with me that marching band is an ill-gotten gain. I think that sounds about right, yeah? Okay, but anyway, so from an educational point of view, I have found that there's not really anything in the marching band that is more beneficial than concert band. Um, what is the marching band going to teach you? Discipline, teamwork. It's not going to teach you good musical fundamentals, though. In fact, it actively works against good musical fundamentals. The fact that you're having to move and project and play loud. These are not conducive to a further career in music where you want to produce a controlled, sustained sound. Typically, while being still. At least for a concert musician. Now, gigging musicians, pop musicians may disagree there. But remember, I'm coming to this from a point of view of a bassoonist. And bassoonists have a skewed view of the world anyway. So, marching band actively goes against so many good fundamentals. I dare you to find, outside of the top elite drum corps and maybe a few university bands, a marching band that's going to play with a good quality sound. It just doesn't happen. And it can't happen because, well, you've got all these kids on the field trying to overblow and play and just play as loud as they can, which is terrible technique. Now, I'm sure I will get comments saying, oh, no, my band doesn't do that. Do they really? You know what? You're outside. You want to play loud. And that's the thing. I have seen people who absolutely love the sound of this wall of sousaphones just blatting. And one of the things they love is the out-of-tune nature. Why? Why do you like that out-of-tune nature of 20 sousaphones in a row? It's a hideous, horrendous sound. It serves no musical purpose. Now let's get to music. There is not a single marching band out there that does justice to music from a composer's point of view. The composer David Maslanka was once asked if a band could arrange his music for marching band, and he flat out said, no, but I will write you something, which it never came to fruition. David never wrote anything for marching band, and I like that approach because every marching show you'll ever see is an arrangement. There's no new compositional material that's ever put on that has any kind of significant artistic merit. Why can't we have a composition for marching band? Because it's one, that's not what the marching band's there for. The marching band is there to entertain. They are a distraction while the football guys are getting their Gatorade on and getting yelled at by the coach during halftime. That's about it. You're there as a distraction. You're not there as the main event. And that, again, is one of my issues. Art should be there for art's sake, not as a distraction from a bunch of hot, sweaty pigs on the football field. as you can see, I'm not very into the sports ball. In fact, my university, UTA, University of Texas at Arlington, where I went for undergrad, had a marching band but no football team. So this skews my perception even further because we were a competitive marching band. Well, competitive. We would go and do exhibitions, but we never played for the football team. So it was always perform at your highest quality and show off how good you are for high school kids who are at their band competition. Okay, whatever. What no, there's no the social incentive that so many people get out of marching band wasn't there. Which is going to see the football team. I have not been to a college football game since the 90s, and I don't regret it. I think too much emphasis is placed on the college sports, and the marching band is just there to accentuate it, make it more fun, more entertaining. Well, I don't want to be there just for entertainment value. I want to be there for artistic value. So, my hot take is I hate marching band. I wish it would go away. It does not serve a good educational value. And it takes away from the musicians who really want to be there to get better at their craft. I would have to spend 3-4 months out of the year away from my primary instrument before I got to go back to concert band, where I could really sit down and study and work on becoming a better musician. This is not good education. So, hot take. Marching band needs to go away. I hate it. Thank you. I totally forgot to put this into the video I recorded yesterday, but make sure you comment down below. The comments really drive a lot of traffic, and I like seeing what you guys have to say. I love the comments you left on the last video I uploaded, so thank you so much for that. And I have a link down below to my revamped Patreon page, and remember, I have new classes coming that you're only going to be able to sign up for through my Patreon, and I will do a full video in the next week or so talking about those classes, how you can sign up, and what it's all going to cover. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever that does, because that's what they tell me to do on YouTube tutorials, and I will see you later tonight when I do a Band Nerd Hangout.